all into this space today because we've travelled from wherever we've travelled, even if it's just from our bedroom to our kitchen or from the car to the computer. We've travelled together, and we are travelling together today to a new frontier. And it's really exciting to see that all of us are starting to arrive and come to this place. And we are, wherever we've been and wherever we're coming, we're arriving right now to this place. So we would love you to, we're going to do kind of like a ready, set, go. The readiness is just to land into where you are in place. So have a think about the place that you're in at the moment and whose place that is, who are the First Nations people. And then I'm going to ask you to put your microphone on, and you are going to say where you are, to acknowledge the land where you are. And we will keep it at a small microphone level so that we don't overwhelm each other with this extraordinary voices from all over the world. And what I'm going to ask you to do is just, notice where you are on this little blue dot, my mini globe. And I'm going to do a ready, set, go. And then on the ready, you know where you are. On the set, you can turn your microphones on. And on the go, do your land acknowledgement in whatever way you want to. And in your first language and of the place where you are, that's great too. So be ready. Press set, turn your microphones on. And now let's go. Together here on
territories of the Anishinaabe, territory of the Māori, to be here today.
Territories, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people.
Thank you, everyone. What a beautiful way to begin. And to take us on the next part of our journey, now that we've landed, I'm handing over to Echo. Echo, you there? You ready to help us with our next piece? Just while we're waiting for that, if you haven't had a chance to pop into the chat, if you weren't able to say where you are, please feel free to pop that into the chat as well, so we get this lovely cascade of all of the places that we are and who we are. And here comes Echo to take us to our next destination.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Dawit and Squash Kaweya. My ancestral name is Kaweya. My English name is Echo. I'm from the Nlaka'pamux Nation, Grizzly Bear Clan, raised with the Shuswap Nation, and calling in from the unceded ancestral lands of the Squamish people on the Sunshine Coast today, in BC, otherwise known as BC. I wanted to share some of the teachings around the different phases that we go through in life, and share a little bit of a video, some words, and then invite some of your voices in to speak together on gratitude. So in the teachings that I've been raised with, we are given what we call like our baby name. It's our childhood name. And that name quite often represents something playful, something that explores, something that allows us to step into that childlike nature. And as we grow through our childhood, our elders will watch and witness the different characteristics, the different gifts that we have. They'll breathe life into those gifts. They'll witness the ways that we interact with the world around us, with the people around us, how we hold ourselves. And as we move into our next phase of life, we then receive like an adult name. So we go from a child name to an adult name. And that name represents the true essence of who we are, the true essence of our path, of our place, of our purpose, of how we give our gifts back to our communities, everything that has led up to that point by exploring, by allowing space for that childlike nature to explore, to be, to breathe. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to acknowledge the transitions that we go through in those different stages of life, instead of tripping just from one to the next and the next and the next. Like we just got to keep going. There is this pause. There is this pause, and there might be some grief. Sometimes there might be some celebration. There might be all of the things of looking back at what has brought us to this point. All of the pieces that have brought us to this point, we give gratitude for that. We give gratitude for the journey that brought us here today, so that we can turn and continue on our journey and whatever is unfolding next. So I would like to invite Finn to play the video.
I'm also an activator from NARM, Melbourne, and I'm excited to be here today and welcome you to the new phase in SheEO. Congratulations to the team who've worked hard over the last few months in creating this name change. And with all new name changes, it means we are collectively being reborn into a new phase. So like many other First Nations cultures throughout the world, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities in Australia have many different ways in which we celebrate or mark milestones of growth. This depends on the land on which you are on, and this will reflect how you celebrate these milestones. Some examples of these are when you are given your skin name or your totem that is symbolic to the language group in the region that you are born on, either on your mother's side or your father's side, depending on the significance points of difference throughout these regions. These can be through very private family gatherings or larger community celebrations. So I think it's only fitting that today we celebrate this milestone for SheEO with the rebranding and renaming to mark the next phase of growth of this organisation. So thank you again to the amazing team in the background that have worked so hard over these last few months to celebrate this change with you. Congratulations.
The Jewish coming of age ceremony is the bar mitzvah. The idea behind the bar mitzvah is that until a child is old enough, they're not responsible for their own actions and for observing the rituals and traditions of Judaism. Their parents are. Once they reach the age of 12 or 13, they become accountable and are then also invited to participate in some of the rituals that are only required of adults. The ceremony includes being called to read aloud from the Bible in the synagogue in front of the whole community. And in modern days, it also includes a very large party with very large presents. Since the parents are no longer responsible for their child's actions, there's this special blessing that parents say as part of the ceremony that goes something like, "Thank God that I'm now relieved from paying for this child's sins." I think some parents will sympathize with that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for those wonderful words. And it really shows the different practices all over the world of acknowledging the different phases of our life. I would like to invite everyone to take a moment, and when we think about the life of SheEO, what it has brought us, in the practice of gratitude, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for in the life of Shi'io and all it has brought to us? And if anyone is feeling called in the practice of speaking things into existence and bringing our voices into the circle, I would like to invite you to share your voice, share what you are grateful for.
I'll say something if nobody will. We all wait for somebody else to. I'm just super grateful for this community because I work in an industry that there's not a lot of female support, and it's hard to be authentic. So here is a place where you can just be yourself, be authentic, feel loved and respected, and feel just accepted. I don't know. I just feel like this is a place that's safe, super safe. And everybody you meet is just amazing and like-minded. And we all care. We care what's happening in the world. We care about people. We care about the earth. We care about more than the earth. So it's just fabulous to be around all these people. And I'm so grateful to all of them for being so supportive throughout this whole journey. It's 5-6 years with Shi'io. So
Beautiful. Crookston, thank you. Anyone else like to share? Seeing some things in the comments, grateful for friendship, helping to support amazing Wahine to grow. Yes, Lisa, hello friend.
Hello. So I'm joining a little late, but just so honored for the opportunity to be here with all of you and echo, I think of all of the things that have ignited a deeper awakening was rooted in your story. And this was one of my very early experiences with Shi'io. It shone a light of awareness on the many things that I just simply didn't know or understand. A dismantling of my own inner patriarch, of the effect of colonization on my own spirit, on the journey, I think, of my ancestors. And it was in those earlier sessions where I noticed my own rejection and resistance of many, many things. And there has been a deepening, a softening, an allowing. And there have been sort of many instances of needing to like even step away to regather and to be still. I think I'm celebrating a period of wellness after 5 years of chronic illness. And I attribute so much of that to the things that I've learned from you, from the other incredible women, from early conversations with Miri when I first actually joined. And I think an allowing of just actually allowing myself to receive and to be helped. And this has been a new experience, I think, as a woman who has benefited from patriarchal systems of oppression. And I think just coming into my own reckoning of how to dismantle that, of how to come into right relationship with my true self, and to, I think, just garner the energy to show up powerfully and authentically and lovingly. Many mistakes, many proud moments, but there has always been somebody from this community, even in my most difficult times, who's lifted me up and who has reflected back the best parts of me. And for that, I am so truly thankful. And it started with you. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for each and every one of you, I think you're just warriors, and the work here makes a difference, and we show up as we can. It's not always gracefully in my instance, but thank you for the opportunities to come back as we're able.
Beautifully shared. Thank you so, so much. Absolutely beautiful. Cook's Gem, my friend. Thank you. Think time for a few more. Suzanne.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you. I know I also did come in late, but thank you. I wanted to just say that with all of this, the journey that's been so far has enabled me to actually live and accept and witness that I am enough, and that I am someone who belongs. And we all are humans who belong. And we also are in a world of struggle and born into that struggle, but through that struggle becomes this amazing, beautiful balance of the power of the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And it's just been a beautiful journey. So thank you.
Powerful words. Cook's Gem, thank you so much, my friend. I see Trish.
Thank you. You just really inspired me, Lisa. And one of the things that I shared in my little chat group was this beautiful SheEO product that I purchased in little old New Zealand, all the way from beautiful Canada, and my team and I use it all the time. We have always been a remote team, and we pull a card every time we have a session, and it has just helped connect us. And nice. And this is the card I pulled for our group today. I just wanted to share that. And that's how it feels like to me every time I connect in with SheEO. There's just something sweet, and it just satisfies me in just the right way. So huge amounts of appreciation. The piece that I bought was actually a little mouse, because that was when we started connecting as a network. It really brought this place alive for me. So, and I think it genuinely saved my sanity in lockdowns and various things. So huge amounts of gratitude and beautiful work, Andrea, just in case you didn't notice that was an acknowledgement for you. Ka pai.
Amazing. Cook's Gem, thank you. Anyone else feeling called to share a piece of gratitude for SheEO? Brenda.
When I was first asked, I was thinking, of course, of the amazing people I've met, the amazing community, how wonderful it is to be in a safe space. Other people have said that. But the one thing I wanted to focus on is I love the ask give that we do in SheEO. For me, like many others, the giving was pretty easy and the asking was always much harder. And I'm getting way better at it now. I'm actually quite excited because I'm hosting a meeting that is just an ask give next on the 20th, I think. So I'm excited about that. But I love the ask give. I love that we can give. I mean, sometimes the gives have been connection. Like they've been, oh, I know someone who can help you with that, as opposed to directly helping. So I just love how SheEO does that.
Mm-hmm. It's a network of abundance. Cook's Gem, thank you so much, Brenda. Joanne?
I'd love to say ditto, everybody, what everyone said. But I have just huge amounts of gratitude for what we collectively have done for the world. When we look at the impact that we've had through our ventures, through our shared support of each other, I get chills. It's amazing. It is amazing. And to continue this journey and continue lifting up non-binary and female entrepreneurs and making the world a better place, I think we should all just give ourselves a huge pat on the back. And I cannot wait for it to continue and to see what's next and what continues.
Beautiful. Stem. I'm going to ask everyone to take a deep breath in. Good old echo style, in through your nose and out through your mouth. As we're inhaling this new transformation, we're preparing ourselves to exhale and release this last phase of Shi'io. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I am going to transition over to my friend Andrea to work on the release part. Hello, beautiful sister.
Dachi Kiwo! Oh my goodness, all that love. Holy smokes. I'm vibrating, I'm tearing. But that's exactly the point, right? That's the whole point of good news, shifting, change, waves of the ocean. That's who we are. We're Shi'io right now is in the middle of we're a beach, we're a shore with the waves coming and going and coming and going, because change is who we are. And of course, just like you said, Echo, so poignantly, that, you know, to sit in the gratitude of what we have been, what we have gathered. But of course, because we're human and because we are feeling, well, I hope we are, that's a thing, right? In this time, we are becoming better feelers. We are acknowledging where we're at and our feelings and how we're responding to our world and to our time together. So it's no accident that so many of us are going to need some time to release the old. And sometimes releasing things can just cause a little bit of grief. You know, are things going to change too much? Because we don't know the future. We don't know tomorrow, and we're supposed to live now. And today, right now, we're letting go of something. So we're calling this, we're going to enter into a space of the pause. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? Like just a moment of sitting within this time. And I'm going to help you through that in a way that helps me. I'm going to play a drum and I'm going to sing, but we're going to have some silence. We're going to have some heartbeat with Mother Earth. We're going to have some silence. We're going to have some space for whatever feelings want to come. Maybe it's a giggling fit. Maybe it's tears. Maybe it's anger. All of it is welcome in the pause. Everything is welcome, because we are trying to honor the natural cycles of life, which is movement, waves, phasing in of the moon, right? We are changeable beings. We are changeable, and we're going to allow this time. This is what we as women and non-binary people, we have been trying to bring into all the systems that exist that have been harming our connection to the natural cycles of life, to the earth, to the moon, to the star beings, to our relatives all around us. So by being present to this moment, this change, we're doing something good for us, for the environment and the systems. We're changing them from within, which is what Shi'io has always been about and is about to grow into even more. So with that, I bing the drum. And again, just like Echo, I'm a big one on breathing. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold for 4. And out on a sigh. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Hold for 4. And out on a sigh. And just a little note. Feel free to turn off your camera if you want to not be seen. Feel free to doodle if that's what helps you clear your mind. Sometimes just letting go in front of a screen is difficult, so do your best. But I'm going to help you with some drum, some singing, and some silence. So just go with it as best you can, and you show up in this pause however makes you pausey. That was good. That was quite good. Cheesy, but good. Okay. We're just going to hear the drum beat, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Just let it sit. Just tune in. Just tune in. The song I'm about to sing is a wolf healing song. And it's all about feeling what you feel, letting go what you carry, and letting Mother Earth comfort you and heal you. Because as all of life goes through us, the wolf will howl. So howl as you see fit.
unveiling the new name, and I really need to know it for my CV.
Mahikan kita huyu, mahikan kita huyu. Oh huyu, oh you, oh huyu, oh you. Yahweh, where are you? Where are you? Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold for 4. And out on a big sigh and a laugh. Whew. And we arrive on the other side of the pause. We arrive in a space where we can receive whatever's to come. Because when we are at our best, we are actively calling forth our feminine natures, no matter what part of femininity you are or identify as, acting in our feminine way as well as our masculine ways, because all of us are powerful doers and workers and entrepreneurs and leaders. But our feminine side is what makes us unique and different, and the ones who will change the world. Our feminine nature is the one who will allow for feeling, for silence, for receiving, and for emotion. So thank you for taking this time to allow your receiving nature to be present. Hi, merci, kinanaskumten megwich. And now I will pass it on to Danielle. This is the new name. Welcome, Danielle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrea and Echo, for sharing gratitude and release. And I just want to start with gratitude and release. As the moon shows different parts of its face during the lunar cycle, we too have been revealing and reflecting together as a community over the last few weeks. So before we take it to our reveal, I'm going to share our community's mural, where we have been reflecting together over the last 4 weeks in a play space where we've discovered color and core, shapes and space, sound and system, and now we are ready to share our new name and narrative. So a very brief recap on our journey here over the last couple of weeks. We took a look at color and core to think, how might we transform systems and signal the big picture of a new way, and thought through what remains core to the fabric of our being. In the next phase, we took a look at shapes and space, and what emerged were organic forms: teal, the ocean. We co-created what a collective dreaming space might be for a communal gathering space in our community. And people were looking at things like open space to meet, talk, and connect. And we really got our creative juices flowing. Last week, for those who joined me in the systems track, we talked about whose voices are missing from our community. The reason why we wanted to change our name was to be more inclusive to those who are missing from this community. And we thought, what might we need to do to include and uplift more of those voices? And so we gathered to take a look at inclusion being in our core. Today, we're going to take a look at our new name and narrative, and this space in our mural is blank because there are spaces for you to lift up our collective voices and contribute to this mural as well. I want to, before we get into it, offer some gratitude. This is the wall of names for all of the community members who came together week over the last couple of weeks to co-create, ideate, and generate some new names and concepts that brought us to where we are today and where we're going to go together with all of the expansive possibilities. I want to thank every single one of these folks here who came with an open mind and heart to be able to contribute to this process and trust in themselves. Here's a quick portion of the community suggestions and all of the ideas that were generated. And all of that is going to be put into one name. And so without further ado, we're going to share the story of our journey with a video. And I'm going to cue it up for Finn to play.
We're evolving.
We are evolving.
We are evolving.
We're 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 evolving.
We are evolving.
We're evolving.
We're evolving.
The biggest challenge is whether or not we commit to using our imagination. Are we able to think of new ways of doing things? There are many possible futures for humanity and the Earth. We have to use new language if we want to create new behavior. We have learned this over and over again.
Vicky's vision was of an ecosystem of women overturning conventional power structures. It started with something tangible, a proof of concept. We invited and supported ventures led by women and non-binary people in an entirely unorthodox way, and it worked. It also revealed we all had mindset barriers. We had a lot to learn, but more importantly, a lot to unlearn. Our ecosystem adapted. We developed programming to help us decolonize our mindsets, disarm reactive habits, and open up to radical generosity, not just toward others, but toward ourselves. We noticed the huge reciprocal benefit as members offered up support to ventures and found ways to unearth parts of themselves that had been buried or dormant. The more relationship threads that formed, the stronger our ecosystem grew. We've seen the harm done by cultures of dominance, winner take all, and us versus them. We've been shown the limits of binary thinking. We saw how much further we have to dig to disconnect from ingrained colonizer thinking and return to a state of wholeness and right relationship. And again, our ecosystem has adapted.
We're transforming.
We're transforming.
We're transforming.
We're transforming.
We are transforming.
We're transforming.
We are transforming.
We're transforming.
We're transforming.
We're transforming.
Our original name started to feel like a shell that was much too small. In our early form, it was what we needed to be, defiant and in charge. But a woman CEO doesn't represent us in our current form. It can't hold everything we do and who we are. Being in relationship with each other is where the magic happens. It teaches us what to do next.
It all kind of just like worked out naturally when we got into deeper relationship. Hello. And so that's been really just a fascinating shift in what's happened to the model.
We took the ethos of our venture process and applied it to a global effort to rename ourselves. we embarked on a community-driven process to surface a new name with crowd-sourced wisdom at the center.
We're regenerating.
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 Regenerating.
We're regenerating.
We're regenerating.
We're regenerating.
We're regenerating.
We are regenerating.
We are regenerating.
We engaged across multiple channels within our community, and a group of members raised their hands to join a 6-week iterative process to find a name. The first step was grounding the process in intentionality. What were the guiding concepts for the new name? What did it need to evoke? This is a small portion, of the community suggestions for concepts and names. As we gathered ideas, a theme became very clear. A feeling of flow. We saw confident, organic shapes and an iterative spirit. Hive mind was there. Executive power was not. Water showed up as a huge theme. In the flow, so much of the imagery and language gathered by the community had water elements. As this theme was surfacing, Vicky sent some photos from her sabbatical. Shells, ocean, blue. We saw teal color, organic shapes, water. This crystallized into an ocean concept. The origin of life, interconnected, regenerative, powerful, deep, beautiful, always in flow.
We're growing. We are growing.
We're 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 growing.
We are growing.
We allowed this theme to contextualize our thinking, but resisted going down any particular track. We looked at algae, nautilus, seashells, manta rays, seaweed. We returned to what we know about our community. And working backward from that, within the ocean context, coral revealed itself. Coral is a mega-builder, stabilizer animal living in community with thousands of others as a single modular unit, with a decentralized structure and a hive mind. Even while rooted and stationary, coral reefs communicate with other distant reefs to coordinate efforts. It is a naturally resilient ecosystem, with all its various parts collaborating to retain balance. Co-creation, diversity, and interdependence are its key characteristics. Coral can literally turn tides, minimizing ocean extremes like tsunamis by reducing wave energy by up to 95%, simply by existing. With a little support, it recovers well and repeatedly from what scientists call mortality events. Like rainforests, how coral is faring not only reflects how the larger world is faring, it influences it. Each act of encouragement to each portion of each reef matters and pays dividends. Coral comprises 1% of the planet, yet sustains 25% of ocean life. Collaboration and regeneration is in its nature.
We're corallus.
We are corallus.
We are corallus.
Over the next weeks and months, you'll witness our community's evolution as we move into this next state of being.
We
are corallus.
And so there it is. What was always beneath the surface all along has revealed itself.
We're evolving.
We are evolving.
We are evolving.
We're evolving. We're transforming. We're regenerating. We're growing. We are corallus. And there will be so many opportunities for all of us to continue celebrating and discussing. Hope to see many of you after the session in a breakout room to celebrate. And I would just love to hear what's resonating in the chat for all of you. And I would like to invite a couple of voices. I have so much love and gratitude for everyone here for trusting in the process. As you've seen in the video, your voices and vision here as a community has been thoughtfully woven into the process of bringing forth a new name from the very beginning. And I think that the way in which we beautifully navigate through change and evolution together is in our community's nature, and that will always remain core. I'm really excited to continue energizing around the expansive possibilities of our new name and our shared narrative for Coralus. So thank you so much. And I'd love to hear if anyone has any reflections and resonance to share. We have time for a couple of shares. Yes, Suzanne.
Good morning. This is what I wrote while I was listening. When you affirm your intentions and take action, you align yourself with the universal energy, inviting life to rise up and meet you. Thank you. It's awesome.
Thank you, Suzanne. And I'm seeing in the chat lots of love for all of the wonderful work, the love of nature and the ocean references. I'm seeing from Joanne, can we go off mute to all say the name together? I would love that for our beautiful celebration of cheers at the end. Before we go into that, would anyone else like to raise up a voice and say something? We have room for a couple of shares.
I can't do chat because of PNC firewall, but I do want to say I love the name. And great job to the team. And thanks for all the hard work put into making sure the organization was represented in a magnificent, amazing way.
Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Any other final shares before we move over to our celebration and cheers moment? Seeing tears of joy. Thank you so much. Okay, without further ado, we will have many more opportunities to celebrate and share and co-create with Coralus, formerly CEO. And we are just so excited to share all of this with you in community. So I'm going to pass it over to Moira for a moment of cheers and our after party.
Thanks, Dane. I think we need 3 lots of cheers. So the first one, I'm going to invite you all to bring, if you've got what you've brought as your memory, I've got a little candle here. If you've got that, can you bring it forward and just show it into the camera so we can all get to see this, these amazing things. And what we're going to do is cheer ourselves for being here, for being on this journey. So on the count of 3, if you want to go cheers for that, we can do that. So 1, 2, 3. Cheers! 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 Now for the next cheers, I think we need to cheer the amazing community that brought forth this, and Danielle's extraordinary ability to hold us in this space and be faithful to our past, present and future. So to that community, can we, those people who did that, on the count of 3, cheers to them. 1, 2, 3, cheers! 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 We'll keep it going for a bit longer, come on! Cheers, cheers, cheers! And now, everyone to come off mute, and we can say Corylus together. So 1, 2, 3. Corylus! Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone for who's able to join us today. I really want to also acknowledge all of the people behind the scenes that make these things happen. So to Miri and to Andrea, to Echo, to Deb, to Sarah, to Joanne, to Janaea, thank you so much for helping being a part of today and bringing all this to life. And to the amazing team behind the scenes that love being the stage managers and don't enjoy so much being out the front. But you know who you are, and I'm going to take the opportunity to say thank you, especially to Tanya and to Finn and to Steph and Danny, everyone who's been here, helping us. We can't do this without the being in the ocean that you help us to live in. So thank you so much for all of that. We have an opportunity for those of you who want to stay behind and join in the after party. Imagine which bit of the beach you might like to be on, whereabouts you might find yourself. So please feel free to stay if you'd like to for a while. We know that that's not possible for everyone, but there's something special that always happens when we connect with each other. So you just pop into one of the rooms just for a moment. So I'm going to just hand it over to Finn, who will give us some last minute instructions about how to do that, and go well and continue to be the amazing Corylus that we all are together. Over to you, Finn.
I have to get out of this.
Hey. Thank you all for joining. So very appreciate taking your evening or morning or whatever time it is, wherever you are, to be with us today and to celebrate this. So just like at the beginning for folks who joined, I'm going to open up some breakout rooms, and you are feel free to join, and there's instructions on the slide I will share in a moment, and I will open them in a second. Can you see the slide?
Yeah.
And I will play some nice music.
A little small, Finn, for us to see the slide. We see you big and the slide small.
Let me take myself away. How about that?
Not yet. We want to see you, but I don't know. It's too small for me to read. Sorry. Can someone type the instructions in chat?
Yeah, let me actually just read them out loud. So how to join a breakout room is you'll see on the bottom bar where it says breakout rooms.
Yeah,
it'll have like a little red dot. So if
you.
you click that and then you click whichever breakout room you would like to join, for a PC, I think you'll see 3 dots and then a join button. And if you're a Mac, you'll just see the join button and then click yes. And if you are having trouble, feel free to let me know and I can pop you into one of these rooms.
Yeah.